Wait, Siri.
Oh, there we go.
I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
Okay, Siri turned our mic off, but now it's on.
Here.
Okay. So today is launch day. Because you didn't get any
tell
of
him
that.
to get him up to speed.
So today is launch day for the 6-week Reignite Your Relationship Challenge. And it's going to be in app form. And we're so excited about it. But for this first launch of it, we've got super good deal, tons of bonuses for you. And I can't wait. I'm so excited.
So
I'm really excited. It's going to be really
what can
great.
people expect? Like, so what is it going to do for me? But Sierra, why would I do it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you don't want to do it, but this is so if you are feeling very like
Meh.
if there's like a lot of repetitive problems, if you're getting into the same kind of upsets, frustrations.
You mean like, oh, we're going to fight about this again?
Yeah.
Again?
Or maybe you're just living as roommates right now. That can happen. We see that happen a lot with people who have children that are under the age of 5. And of course, then once that sets in, as your kids get older than 5, it kind of just keeps going. And then we also see an influx of that as people become empty nesters. They're like, who are we now?
In fact, a lot of the folks that's our dog chasing our cat.
Sorry.
In fact, in our workshops, a lot of the I'd say a big population are people that are empty nesters, because you get to that space of like, you look around at each other and you're like, oh, it's just you and me. And then it reminds me of that scene in Nemo when they all like they all escape. Oh, buddy.
He really
the cat's getting after him.
The cat kind of like swats him in the face, like.
Okay, Judy.
So sorry, they like shake the whole table. But anyway,
it reminds me of that scene in Nemo where they all fall into the water and they're all like floating there, like, now what?
Yeah.
It's like that.
So anyway, so there is that is open today, and sometimes, it may feel like it's one-sided, right? You may feel like, well, I'm the only one who is trying to make this work. This is actually for you too. So if you're in a place where you're feeling like the relationship is one-sided, or maybe you're feeling like it's too far gone and there's absolutely nothing else you can do.
Another common
we aren't saying that we don't say like, oh, we can save your relationship. What we can do though is have you see something you haven't seen before, and it may actually not save what you wanted to save. It may actually start a new process of something new. So anyway, so this is for even you can even do it alone.
You might assign the language save.
Yeah. I mean, we could easily assign that to ours.
Yeah,
right.
And that's fine.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And there's a lot of people I've talked to personally too that are like this, where they don't want to go back to the way things used to be.
Right.
And you see that theme in the world, all over the world, and just the era of sickness that we just got over the last few years. Got to be careful about that word. Is people don't want to go back. And there's plenty of friends I've talked to and like, look, I don't know if I want to be with that person that I used to be with, and I want something new. That's just really hard to imagine.
Yeah.
So we can help you write a new story together.
Yeah. So this 6-week course is it's kind of like if people are a little bit nervous to come and sit in person for 4 days, this is a really great shot in the arm to do at your own pace, with feedback, with coaching. Like, you still get all of that stuff. So, and I'm excited because everybody who is attending in person is going to have access to it, which is really exciting. And
again, how it is different is there's a lot of things that are really nice to do. Like, there are a lot of courses and things you can do to quote unquote connect with your partner. Like, it's easy to have that euphoric feeling when you're in a space that allows for you to both hold hands, look each other in the eyes, share each other's hopes and dreams. Those are phenomenal experiences. But what is different, if you're thinking about like what is actually unique compared to anything you've ever done, is we just give you another perspective that just hasn't been seen.
And what's really different is this is not leading you, especially with this 6-week course, it's not leading you and your partner. It's really leading yourself in your relationship and seeing something new there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time you look at relationship work and it's something you do together, or it's creating that environment for like a experience or something.
Sure.
So this is different.
And we get that amazing message from our wonderful friend Patrice this morning. Oh. I needed to hear that too, because it's like we have a little bit of a bug flowing through. But it's funny how that stuff shows up right when something exciting like this happens. You know?
I'm doing great over here.
You're doing great.
Actually, I can't knock on the table. I don't know if you can see this.
You have a bruised knuckle.
Look at, see my middle finger, how it's like brown. Oh, wait. There we go.
The photo you posted
right
was
here.
funny. It's like you're flicking out. You're like this.
I know. So like you can't really.
But you were showing off the knuckles.
Yeah. Oh, it went down. It went way down. So yesterday this finger was like, and there's this game called, it's right here actually. Taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza.
When were you playing that, by the way?
Chamberlain, I was working and Chamberlain was like, can you play this game with me real quick? Because it's a pretty fast game and you can kind of end it whenever you want, because the winner just has the least amount of cards. So like how you win is to get rid of all your cards. Yeah. So you can kind of, so anyway, so she was like, Mom, can we play this game real quick? And we started playing, and Chamberlain is like very intense and she plays and so am I. And there's this one card called the groundhog card where you have to knock on the table. You have to knock on the table and then slam the cards. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, but like the groundhog card would come and I would knock on the table as if I needed to break the table to slam the card. And so I would knock on the table, and then one groundhog card came and I knocked so hard and I was like, oh my gosh, that one hurt. And I looked down at my hand and it was all swollen. It's still purple. It hurts to bend my feet. It even hurt in yoga. You know, you do like downward dog. You put your hands on the ground and just like the pressure on this side of my finger hurt.
Well,
I was just getting, I won.
My hands hurt.
I do not let the kids win. Yeah, like I do. Yeah, you slam the cards. I do not let the kids win. Like, I just don't. I am not a let my kids
Both
win.
Both of us don't. Whenever we play the kids in games, I'm like, no,
never.
Sorry.
I never let them win. And so.
Because there will be a time where they're just better than us.
Yeah.
We know
I'm soaking it up for all it's worth. And truthfully, I'm making her a better game player because she gets distracted and she doesn't realize that she could have slammed on the cards. So
I'll never forget.
But it's kind of like war. If you like those games that are like war, where it's like, oh, but like we both drew blood. I have like blood right there because we both got each other with our fingernails. It was funny. Carnegie was over here just cracking up at us, but then we couldn't stop playing. We had to finish the game because it was so intense.
I'll never forget the time where I was arm wrestling my mom and she could always beat me. I remember playing games with my parents and they always would crush me. And there's that like moment where you're just like, you're just always the winner. I'm just waiting for like a dog and cat fight to start.
I'm waiting for them to just come knock this.
So what happens is the cat goes a little too far, get the claw in the nose, and then it sounds like all hell's breaking loose.
Yeah, and then it's like really bad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But so anyway, so we were playing that and my finger is hurting so badly. But it's called Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza.
Yep.
And I think it's probably like $7.99 on Amazon. But it is like one of those games you should just keep in your car. Make sure you take it camping. Ours, it's kind of in our like by our kitchen because it's a really quick one. They can just grab it and play it real quick. It's an easy game to be like, go play that game real fast.
Yes.
And it's hilarious.
It's easy.
It's always so funny. It's always so funny.
Makes me want to go camping, actually.
The game.
Although last time we went camping, we just colored the whole time.
Was that the last time?
Yeah. Well, last time we went like camping, like real camping.
I color a lot. Camp.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Like, why not? It's like the perfect thing to do.
There's a few places I really want to go to.
Because you can also do it when it's windy.
Yeah.
Or when it's raining.
I would want to go rain.
Because you can't always play games when it's raining.
No.
Sometimes or windy, you can't.
I like the idea of rain camping. I just have to have all the right gear set up because it's like setting up sucks in the rain. But once you're up and you're like dry, it's really magical.
I don't like camping in the rain, but I got to be prepared.
Yeah. That'd be really, really fun.
That is really, really true.
So What do you think? What else is going on today? What are we doing?
Well, if you didn't know this, now you do. On Tuesdays, we go to a coffee shop and we get some work done, and everyone is invited. You don't have to be a health coach. You don't have to do anything. But one of our other health coaching friends, Megan, she obviously has work to do on her computer or phone or whatever. So we decided, let's just meet up and like go to different coffee shops. So we're going to be over by Green Lake today. And it's really just a time to
I really want to go with that.
Collaborate, get some good ideas. Hey, does this look right? Does this sound right? Right? You know, sometimes you just need a different voice and it's to just not work alone all the time.
Yeah, being in company with somebody.
Yeah.
But I feel like me though, I get distracted like really easy.
Like, yeah, you definitely have to have like a plan of what you want to get done. But it's like a nice hour and a half. Last time I think we stayed for like 2 hours, and I got a lot done last time.
You did,
and I really got a lot done last time.
I wanted to acknowledge you, like I already have, but like, is that our kid?
No, it's the little cute little bus is coming. So cute. This little bus comes for this little guy next door, who is not little, by the way. He's huge.
He's grown up. I know.
When we moved into this house, he was a baby.
I know. It's insane.
Now he's like a whole person.
Like a newborn baby.
Not that he wasn't a whole person, but you know, he was not talking.
I know. It's fun seeing them come out of their shell too, because when you have like newborns, sometimes you hunker down.
Yeah, and I feel like they were really close together.
Yes.
Like maybe like 14 months apart.
So they were in on it. Yep.
Yeah.
They were in on it.
They were in on it.
Of course they were.
No, but like there is that time where you have two babies that are really close together, depending on their temperament. Like sometimes, like, I mean, Chamberlain, like this, it was not fun to go. Like it was actually so stressful sometimes. Like you would like invite me to dinner. Like, oh, it'll be fun. I'm like, no, I'm not going. No.
Chamberlain.
Like, no, I'm gonna stay home. That sounds.
It's like that comedian.
An 18-month-old.
Look at that restaurant. Yeah, we will never go there.
Yeah, it's like that. Like her as an 18-month-old bulldozer. It was like, no, I'm just gonna be that mom, literally chasing my child around. That's not fun for anyone. Anyway, it's not fun for her either.
I have a confession.
What?
The first child, I was never that much of a judgmental parent, but I think you're more likely, at least my personal experience, to judge on your first kid because you're like, oh yeah, now I can relate to everybody because I have a kid. But like,
oh yeah,
one child is not the same as another child.
No, but I do still stand by my feeling of how different it goes from 0 to 1, from 1 to 2.
How is that dramatically different?
I think going from 0 to 1 is way harder than going from 1 to 2.
I would agree.
I think going from 1 to 2, because you kind of already got like a.
Well, no, in some ways
you kind of already got a parent swagger about you that you at least know what you know the bottle parts are and how to put a bottle together. You know, there's like that learning curve isn't as big, I think. But
no, just like small things like Carnegie left the tape out from the garage. We have a rule like if you're gonna take something out from the garage, put it back.
If you're gonna use Dad's tools, you gotta put Dad's tools back in the garage.
Stay in my garage. So he's like, he's like on it. It's like, sorry, Dad, I'll put it back, and he puts it back right away. And that is not the experience I have with Chamberlain. So a lot of it's just, you know, as a parent,
you have different temperaments.
Yeah. So that gave me a lot of grace.
Yeah, it was different because with Carnegie, he was so quiet. He would literally just like, you could plop him in one of those like bouncy chairs. We could go anywhere. We could just be like, okay, Carnegie, you can plop here in your little bouncy chair. And he'd be how to camper forever as long as we wanted to be there.
2-3 hours, yeah.
Yep. And he would just want to watch everybody. And no. It was like you had to entertain her. You had to like engage with her when she was baby. And she would not laugh.
Funny.
I know, which is so funny because she's like a really funny girl. But as a baby, until she was like 2, you had to be really funny, or she would just look at you like, and you'd be like making all these goofy faces, like trying to like make her laugh. Like in every picture of her that we have, she's like.
Which brings me to my next point on relationships. Is I can't help but wonder, like, there's an opportunity to really get clear on some of your core fears in the work we do. And I think it's worthwhile for anyone to notice, in just in terms of how they live life and what it is to be human, and how fear plays a role. And it's just a futile experience. I can't help but wonder that if there was a way to get more clear or play a game inside of a relationship in terms of when you're having children, is if you look at when individual unique relationships have conflict, if the type of conflict that arises at various ages, whether it be like pre-birth, newborn, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, the teenage years, the types of conflicts that show up has something to do, or it's heavily related to the unique fears that the parent has. Because based off of that, like if you have a fear of freedom, you might experience that more extremely from 0 to 5. But that fear, I can tell you for me personally, being aware of it has provided a sense of peace and freedom and choosing it and playing around it. But I will say it is different than when they're older. Now I can literally just go for a bike ride with the kids. So there's this. I can't help but wonder if there is.
Well, if you identify what that is, though, earlier on when they're babies, then you have the opportunity to play by putting them in a carrier, getting a hiking backpack, or
you can operate.
Them
Love that. So I think
when you're able to identify them,
you're able to yes. So when you're able to identify your individual fears and desires and wants, what becomes available inside of your relationship is the opportunity to create a new game to play. Yeah. And I think sometimes what happens is those fears are kind of like bumped up against, and you're functioning from what it was in the past. And I think that's the experience that heavily too.
I think something too that, and you could argue marriage is this way, but marriage is only this way, I think, if you're very intentional about it. But kids are like the kids are.
This is live.
I know. Kids are the greatest personal development course you could ever take in your entire life.
Outside of being an entrepreneur.
Nope.
Yeah, outside of that, I said.
No, I'm thinking it's totally different. Nope.
I disagree.
No, because you have this different, if you're an entrepreneur, your business could die. It could crash and burn, and just like, it'd be fine. You're not going to but like with your kid, it's a different level of responsibility.
But some kids crash and burn and their parents have.
Sure, but it's still a different level of responsibility. They're still like a human being that you're responsible for and you're taking care of. And yeah.
Well, that's why I said outside and say in conjunction with.
I don't think that's. So it is a lot. And some people say, well, you can get that with a marriage too. It's like, yeah, you can definitely have this like experience, personal growth inside a marriage and with no kids, 100%. And I also attribute this to those who are insensitive. Some people do want to have children and they can't, or for whatever reason. And even that process is still like the personal development process of a lifetime. Like even just like going through the ups and downs with that it's like they just like offer so much to the world, and children should be respected for that.
Do you think people? I don't know if like.
I don't know what you're.
I'm gonna like. Oh, there. Do you think that? I don't know if people go in. Like when you go in to start a business, I think you go in. And you're like, I really want to be stressed and challenged and transformed personally. When I have a kid, I'm gonna have a kid because I want to go through majors. Oh my god, the cat.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is I think it's a little bit more.
No. But you never go. Even when you go in, you don't go in. Like when I go to the gym, I go in because I want to look good. I want to look strong and buff. I don't go in because I want to go through like this mental. transformation, and you don't go in wanting the hard stuff, but that's actually where all the goodness comes from, ironically. Mm-hmm. But it's like it's kind of like
what's your point?
It's just it's interesting how I think I can't help but wonder how many people pull the exit through the back door because
but that's what I'm saying. With a business, it's really easy. With kids, it's harder to do. I'm not saying people haven't pulled their cord, but I'm saying that it's way easier with a business.
Yeah, when it's
when it's a kid, I mean, you'd have to be pretty heartless, but I mean, people do it still.
Yeah, that's true.
A different type of right. So
you're kind of signing up for something for life. Yeah, no, I see. You're signing up for something for life. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation, but so it might be worthwhile to be awake to what might be kind of,
especially if you're in the newborn stage, or if you're in the, or even if you're pregnant or in the process of having a baby, or newlyweds. I think that you feel like you get this free pass because this thing is coming, and it's exactly why you should start identifying what those fears and stuff are, because they are going to show up, whether you say them out loud or not. They will be there.
Yeah,
it does not matter. Like Zach's fear of lacking and losing all of his freedom in life is present, whether he decided to identify it or not. But by identifying what it is and what it was, then you can actually play with it. And then as a partner, it's like, oh, this makes so much more sense of why you always get so grumpy when we X, Y, and Z. It's like, okay, that makes sense. So how can I help with that or contribute to not?
I mean, it's not the only fear.
No, but I'm just saying, you already used that as an example. So like, there's a lot of value in that. So a lot of saved frustrations that happen. I think.
Yeah, and I think the temptation though is to try to make it go away. And I think people hearing that would argue with you. Doesn't mean, and that might be worthwhile to look at, and that could be more of it. Yep. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go because I have to go to Megan.
I know. So. All right. Well.
Sorry.
So what are we doing? What are we doing on Thursday? What can people expect?
On Thursday? What's on Thursday?
Live. What are we doing?
Well, on Thursday, if you haven't filled out, actually, that's what I should put in the comments.
There it is.
I'll put it in the comments. If you want to know more about the app and everything, fill out our little application, because it's a 6-week course and we can't take everybody in the 6-week course. So we are having people fill out a quick little application to make sure that it's the right path for you right now, because we do have other things coming, but this is going to be the first. So I will put that link in the thing. Or if you're watching this on Instagram, you can just go to our bio and fill that out real fast.
Perfect. We'll do it.
Okay.
See you guys later.
We'll see ya. Oh man, there's a lot.